Hi and welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I've got really good news because I'm going to be talking about a self-sponsorship route that you can use now to move to the UK from overseas. So this pathway, obviously, it means that you're going to be moving to the UK and you don't need an employer to sponsor you beforehand like it's the normal pathway with looking for a job, applying and getting visa sponsorship and all of that. So if you're new to my channel, obviously you're welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, as usual, I appreciate your time. I do hope that you're implementing the things that I'm talking about. So leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me your personal circumstances right now and that you're going to implement this info. Also, if you haven't joined this family, by the way, take this opportunity to hit the subscribe button so that you're the first person to be notified every single day when I drop a new video on here. Also, look, it is no surprise that the UK is a country that is acutely short-staffed when it comes to, just recruiting personnel, and healthcare professionals are always the top of mind when the UK government is making its rules, laws, and policies because of the need. So if you're watching my videos when you're making decisions to move overseas, or if you're in the UK and you're looking for visa sponsorship, you need to be very wise. You need to be very smart to understand the jobs that are highly likely for you to get sponsorship and the jobs that are actually offering sponsorship. Because let me tell you, I speak with so many people and some people are like, hey, Melvin, this is my experience, this is what I do. And I'm like, look, this job does not offer visa sponsorship at all. So there is no need wanting to get visa sponsorship if the job that you're doing, that you've got qualifications or experience for, doesn't offer sponsorship. It is a waste of your time and a waste of resources and just a waste of everything. It is not absolutely worth it. And that's why I like to share these opportunities with yourself. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you who is eligible for this pathway. And the best thing about this pathway is that in terms of the age, you need to be at least 16 years old. So it's not like the other UK pathways that you have to be at least 18. So 16-year-olds and above can apply for this particular pathway. Obviously, in terms of the upper age limit, there is no upper age restriction, because I know the age people are going to come out and say, Melvis, I'm 58. Do you think I can use this pathway? Obviously, yes, because you're more than 16 years old. So by the way, before I even get into the nitty-gritty and all the other eligibility criteria, how you go about it, what visa you apply for, I do have a free newsletter. I've dropped the link in the comment section below. It's also got my contact details on there. You need to 100% join the newsletter if you haven't, because I share information such as this directly to your inbox. Info about free visa sponsorship opportunities to move to the UK or to switch your visa, NHS jobs that offer visa sponsorship that don't even require any experience, any degree whatsoever, no IELTS, but you just need to understand what is needed and what is expected in order for you to get that job. So when you join my newsletter, like I say, you drop your name and email. It won't take 20 seconds. And then I send that info directly to you. Also, if you want to discuss about your personal circumstances, you're like, hey, Melvis, what about XYZ? Then do get in contact with me. You're going to find my WhatsApp number as well as my email address. So do get in touch, and then I can offer you that personalized guidance, which I do offer to people that are in my private coaching program. So again, that is what it is all about. So this particular pathway, what does it entail? So like I say, the first thing you need to know about this pathway is that you don't need a traditional job as you would apply for jobs with a CV and all that before you get this opportunity. So which means that once you're eligible, you're kind of 100% guaranteed that you're going to get a visa to move through this pathway. But as with any other UK visa, it doesn't come without T's and C's. Every UK visa comes with T's and C's, and it's for you to decide whether it is best for you. So like I said, you need to be at least 16 years old. And then the next eligibility criteria is that you need to be either looking to study English in the UK, you need to be looking to do your professional exams. For example, you need to be a nurse, a midwife, or students in these courses. You need to be a dentist, or you need to be a doctor or a student in these courses, which means that if you're currently out of the UK, you must be, say, registered, as a student or a qualified nurse, midwife, doctor, or dentist. But if you're obviously 16, because obviously they accept from 16 years old, then you should be coming to the UK to study English. And you will get this visa and come to the UK, which is a self-sponsorship route. So that is the first And the main thing when it comes to the eligibility criteria and the people that have a 99% chance of success, this is something that is also very relevant, because if you're from a red list country, then you know the challenges that you may sometimes face if you're applying for UK visa jobs. So this is a way of bypassing the whole red list thing as well. So again, like I say, some of these pathways that the UK government implements, they are very strategic. You need to be very smart if you're going against the traditional pathway to follow a pathway such as this, because obviously it doesn't come with the normal T's and C's and the normal advantages, obviously, that the other pathways would have. And by the way, I am passionate about all this because I started my own journey as well as a carer to then progressing to the most senior clinical nursing position. So I currently work as an advanced nurse practitioner for the NHS, and so career progression is something that is an absolute must. You know, it's a must if you're in this country. If you're wanting to move to the UK, it is a wasted opportunity if you're stuck in the same job, doing the same thing day in, day out. It's not worth it, because this country is all about earning more, working less, so that we can all retire early. So if you need support with any of those things that I've mentioned, career progression, free visa sponsorship jobs, such as this pathway, for example, then definitely check the description box below or the About Your channel, and you're going to see a link to join my private coaching program, which is called Nursing Career Bootcamp. It's all about free visa sponsorship opportunities, nanny jobs, teaching jobs, carer jobs, lots of different jobs that offer free visa sponsorship, as well as career progression, obviously in the UK, NHS jobs, apprenticeships, how do you progress, what do you need, non-clinical healthcare jobs, like the entire shebang. So also share this video, by the way, with your friends, loved ones, colleagues, so that they're aware of these opportunities and they can also pursue these opportunities. So like we've said, if you're one of these professionals or a student in one of these professional courses, there are two ways you can use this pathway to come to the UK. The first way is that if you're still a student, you can use it to come and gain work experience in the UK, which is a massive advantage because you're going to have a UK visa for 6 months. So this is like an elective clinical placement. So you need to be a nursing student, a student in midwifery, a medical student, or dentistry student. These are the only 4 courses that are eligible for this particular one. So if you're currently studying out of the UK, you can come to the UK to do a placement up to 6 months, which is a good period of time. But there are T's and C's. This placement cannot be paid, so it's got to be unpaid. And mind you, you don't need to worry about the fact that it's unpaid, because even for those of us that studied nursing or these courses in the UK, we were not paid. You know, I worked for 3 years full-time as a nursing student, nothing paid. So you're not alone, because this is the process. But the 6 months are going to give you the amount of time that you need to gain UK experience. So in terms of the evidence for the UK government or to get a UK visa, you need to have evidence that you're currently studying this particular course in your home country, which means you're a student, obviously. And you also need to have evidence that you've organized your placement. Because if you're coming to do work experience in the UK, you're not just going to get into a plane, come out of the UK and be like, hey, do you need somebody to do work experience? No, you need to organize it beforehand. You need to organize it before. There are different ways that you can organize this. If you need more information about it, leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll do a video on how you organize this, because I've supported quite a few people through my coaching program to come to the UK through this process. So I'm very familiar with the processes and how it actually works. So like I say, if you're keen, leave a comment in the comment section below or get in contact with me. Check the comment section. You're going to see my contact details there. And, you know, like I say, I've got a lot of experience with this particular pathway. So you need to organize that beforehand. And so they're going to be able to give you a letter, which is what you take to the embassy to get your visa. And you're going to have that work experience for 6 months in the UK. And then you return to your home country as an elective clinical placement. Obviously, you need to make sure that you're not working, because what I'm not saying is that you can come to the UK on this visa and work. You cannot be working a paid job. You're doing a clinical placement. So it's work experience in the UK, but it's unpaid work experience because you're a student. So that is one of the pathways, and that is obviously what you need. I'm also going to tell you, by the way, the visa that you need to apply for. So if you're coming as a qualified nurse, a qualified doctor, or a qualified dentist, or a qualified midwife, it's a different process, obviously, because you're already qualified, which means if you're a student in any of these courses, you can come to the UK. If you're already qualified, you can also come. which means that if you've gone through the normal professional registration by the NMC or the GMC for the doctors and dentists, then you need to make sure that you've got evidence that you need to do, say, your OSCE exams and your FLAP exams when it comes to the doctors. So you're going to need that letter from the NMC. Once you get that letter, that's what you need to get your visa. The process is really straightforward. It's really simple, but you need to make sure that it's a process that you can indeed afford. So if you've gone through the normal processes that you go through as an overseas candidate, and you've gotten to the stage where you need to write your professional exam, then you get a letter from the NMC, which they will give you, obviously, if you've gotten to that stage of your journey. And then you take that letter to the embassy, you know, wherever it is that you are, and they'll give you a UK visa for 6 months, which you then come to the UK to do your OSCE exams. You know, in the case of a nurse, for example, you do your OSCE exams, and then once you're successful, you can then find a job that way. So it's a self-sponsorship route. The biggest disadvantage with this route is that it's obviously expensive, because you need to pay for it yourself, which OSCE is something that the employer, UK employer, would normally pay for. So you need to make sure that you're assessing your personal circumstances and seeing whether it's something that you can afford. That's a decision that you have to make as an individual, because you best understand your personal circumstances. And so when it comes to the type of visa, therefore, all these different people that we've mentioned in this video will have the same type of visa. So what visa do you have? You need to apply for a UK standard visitor visa, but the reason for your visit is going to be study. So you need to apply for a UK standard visitor visa, but the reason for your study, for your journey and for your visit, is going to be study. By the way, if you're enjoying this content, just hit the like button. It lets me know that you enjoy content like this, and obviously I should do more. Also share this with your friends, loved ones, colleagues, so that they're aware of some of these pathways that are not always so obvious, but will be suitable for some people. Obviously, it's not suitable for everybody, but it's going to be suitable for some people. So it's up to you, obviously, to know whether it is suitable for you. If you're part of my private coaching program, and obviously you want to explore some of these pathways, like I always say, just let me know and I'll tell you the pros and cons. Look at your own personal circumstance and we'll see whether it's something that is best for you, or it's something that is indeed achievable for you. Like I say, I'm very familiar with these processes, and so it's something that I can give you that, you know, information from experience in order for you to understand whether it's worth it for you or not, you know. So again, the reason for your visit is really the main difference, because if you're visiting the UK because of tourism, for example, or to visit family, this is not suitable for this visa. You will not be able to carry on these activities, and so, you know, it is something that is good. And the best news is that you can extend this, you know, if say you don't pass your exam and you need to be extended, the visa can be extended. But obviously you can only apply for this particular reason in terms of study, and have the relevant evidence that we've spoken about from the relevant professional regulators or UK institutions. And it has to obviously be a higher institution if you're somebody who is a student and you're coming for placements, because, you know, you're going to be doing placement in a particular area, and so that has to be organized beforehand. What do you think about this pathway? Do you think it's worth it? You know, do you think that it's better to follow on the traditional way, where you go through the professional registration, you get a job, move to the UK, do your professional exam, because obviously the OSCE can only be done in person, face to face in the UK. If you're a nurse or midwife, you cannot do it out of the UK. So is it worth it? You know, what do you think? These are decisions that you have to make as an accountable professional. These are things that you need to ask yourself. My family situation right now, would you permit it? What about your job? You know, because it's a risk. If you don't pass it, for example, how are you going to manage the whole situation? It can be very, very challenging, very destabilizing if you're not somebody who is on track. You do everything successfully and perfectly. So if you've got any questions regarding this pathway, obviously leave a comment in the comment section. I'm more than happy to provide more info so that you can, I don't know, clarify your doubts. You can better understand whether the process is right for you. If you're part of my private coaching program, as usual, just, you know, contact me. During our live session on Thursday, we're also going to go through this in detail, because we have, you know, quite a few nurses on the program. So again, you know, it's about making the most of some of these pathways and taking advantage of whatever is going to be more beneficial for you. But you've got to be careful. Think about the additional cost, the additional expenses that this is going to incur, and the fact that you're not going to be paid for the job. So if you're in the UK for 6 months, where do you have where to stay? You need to show evidence also for your visa application that you're able to afford your stay for the entire duration of your visa. So again, like I said, there are those added strains that comes with a pathway like this, but there are many people that financially are able to afford it, because it comes down to money, it comes down to time, it comes down to your personal circumstances. But just explore it and see what comes. Check out this video as well that I've shared specially to give you more information on various opportunities available in the UK. I'll see you in this video right here.